Hi, I'm Carl Weisecker, Principal Broker at Kline Realty. Thank you for joining me for another Q&A with Kline. Today, our question might strike you as a little bit unusual in this market, but the question is, why isn't my home selling? And believe it or not, we do get that question from some sellers, and we have some sellers in that situation. So here's what's happening. We are still very much in a seller's market. There are far more buyers looking for homes than there are sellers offering homes for sale. We've talked about that a lot, why that is, mainly interest rates. It's still a very good situation for sellers and a very good time to be selling your home. Folks can count on getting top dollar and count on, if you're priced appropriately, probably having a competitive situation. And the appropriate pricing is really the key. We almost have a tale of two markets going on here, where we still have strong enough buyer demand that if a home is priced properly and shows well, has been maintained, has been prepared for showing, you're going to get some pretty good interest and probably some quick offers and maybe some competitive offers. If, on the other hand, though, the seller of that particular home is more in the mindset of a year ago or so, when interest rates were still very, very low, they might be a little over-aggressive on their pricing or a little over-optimistic. And obviously, one of the biggest changes that's happened are the interest rates. And when interest rates were 3%, folks could afford to really overpay for a property because they were thinking in terms of my monthly payment, and they could still afford that. Now that's not the case at all. So even though we have super strong buyer demand, they do not have a tolerance for overpaying. If you're in that situation and you're kind of scratching your head saying, hey, I see on the news there are a lot more buyers than sellers. Why don't I have people constantly throwing offers at me? You need to start asking yourself, what could be the possible buyer objections to your home? Is there something about the home? Is there something about the location that you can't change? If there's something about the home you can't change, really the only way you can account for that is to adjust the price downward and see if you can get a buyer to make that trade-off. Talk to your agent about it, but there's definitely a reason. If your house isn't selling, there's definitely a reason. Our coffee today is a little unusual for me. If you are a regular watcher, you know that I'm not a huge fan of flavored coffees, but I was in the grocery store and I saw this New Orleans roast, and the flavor is bourbon pecan pie. And I just thought, how can I not give that a try? So here we go. That's really good. It's not something I would have with breakfast, probably, but as a dessert, after a nice meal, maybe with a little bit of ice cream on the side, that's really very good. I would highly encourage that one. If you have a question for me about real estate, or if you have a coffee you'd like to see me try here on the air, please send that information to me at questions@kline.com. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.